Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's a weird day. I'm gonna share something with you all that's just really embarrassing. So I've been friends with Tatum and Wade for years. We've been through thick and thin together. We've had our fair share of wild nights, crazy adventures, and all the gossip in between. So basically, Tatum just got engaged to some guy named Jamie. They're actually super cute together, but I'm not exactly sure how I feel about this whole wedding thing. Don't get me wrong, I love Tatum like a sister, but this is just a lot to take in. And then, Wade, being the crazy optimist that he is, decided it would be a great idea for us to all attend the wedding together. I'm not even joking, Wade sent out the group text like 30 minutes after they got engaged. Hey guys. We're getting married. Yeah, no big deal. We've celebrated plenty of occasions with Tatum before. But somehow, this one felt different. And then, on top of that, I accidentally RSVP'd yes when all I meant to do was send a congratulatory message. Okay, so now here's where it gets good. Or bad. Depending on how you look at it. I was hanging out with Willow last night, and we were just chillin', talking about our week. And then, Willow asked me if I'd gotten an invite to Tatum and Jamie's wedding. I hesitated for a second before responding with something like, oh, yeah. I got one, when really, I had no idea what I was doing. Now, here's where it gets weird. We're at the coffee shop, and Willow's being super supportive. She's literally telling me that it's gonna be fine and that we'll figure it out together. But I'm still trying to process everything. What do I even say? Oh, hi Jamie. Congratulations on the engagement, and also, I accidentally said yes to your wedding. Yeah, that was a little too casual. I know, it's not like I meant to be rude or anything. But at the same time, come on, guys. This is Tatum we're talking about. She's always been super considerate of our feelings. And now, she's asking us all to attend her wedding. It just feels like a lot. Anyway, Willow and I were trying to brainstorm some ideas for how to get out of this situation without hurting Jamie or Tatum's feelings. We tossed around some pretty wild suggestions, from blaming it on a miscommunication to pretending we're just family friends, with no actual stake in the wedding whatsoever. But here's the thing, now that I've said yes, I'm kinda stuck. And if I don't figure something out soon, well, let's just say I'll be attending what could possibly be the most awkward wedding of my life. Stay tuned guys, this is gonna be a wild ride. I looked at Willow and rubbed my temples, feeling like I was going to lose my mind. We had decided on a plan. We would tell Jamie that Tatum must have accidentally sent out the wrong invite, or maybe even fabricated an old family friend who couldn't make it for some ridiculous reason. Something to get us out of this nightmare without hurting our friends' feelings. But then, things started to get more complicated. I got a text from my coworker Wade, who had also been invited, and wasn't exactly close with Jamie or Tatum. He was freaking out and asking if we knew what was going on, claiming that he couldn't just show up uninvited. Meanwhile, Tatum's sister, let's call her Sarah, started calling me non-stop, asking when I would confirm my attendance at the rehearsal dinner. I tried to brush it off with a no comment for now, but deep down, I knew we were running out of time. We needed to come up with something, and fast. I started frantically scrolling through social media, searching for any mention of the wedding or Tatum's supposed fiancé, whose name was apparently Alex. That's when I stumbled upon a weird article about how some couples are now using online platforms to accidentally share their engagement news, complete with staged photos and fake testimonials. I showed it to Willow, who was shaking her head in amazement. Are we seriously considering faking our own relationship? She asked, eyes wide. I hesitated for a moment before responding, what else are we gonna do? We can't just ghost Tatum now. But the thought still lingered, were we about to become part of some fake engagement scam? As I pondered this very real possibility, my phone rang again. This time, it was Jamie herself. Hey girl, where have you been? She asked cheerfully, oblivious to the chaos brewing in my mind. My heart sank. We had a long conversation about nothing, or so I thought, until she casually mentioned that Alex was actually her brother's friend from college. I took a deep breath and launched into our plan, trying not to reveal too much. But just as we were wrapping up, Jamie dropped another bombshell. Tatum, you need to talk to your sister about this ASAP. She's been freaking out over the phone all day. My eyes met Willow's, and I knew right then that things had just escalated to a whole new level. I tried to keep my cool, even as my mind was racing with worst-case scenarios. Okay, got it, I said, trying to sound casual despite the growing sense of panic inside me. What did she say exactly? I asked Jamie, hoping to stall for a few more minutes. Well, let's just say she's not taking this very well, Jamie replied, her tone softening slightly. She's been calling you non-stop and getting really frustrated. I could imagine Willow's exasperation. My little sister was always quick to speak her mind, even if it meant riling up the rest of us. I took a deep breath and mentally prepared myself for what was coming. Okay, I'll talk to her, I said firmly. But Jamie, can you tell me more about Alex? What's the story behind him? The more information I got, the better equipped I'd be to handle whatever Willow threw my way. Well, apparently they met in college and have been close ever since, Jamie explained. They're supposed to get married next weekend. My eyes widened as the truth dawned on me. This wasn't just a random wedding invitation, it was an actual engagement. And I had RSVP'd. My phone buzzed with another call, and I hesitated for a moment before answering. It was Wade, our friend from high school who always seemed to be in the right place at the right time. "Hey girl, what's going on?" he asked, his voice laced with concern. I filled him in on the details, the invitation, the wedding, Jamie's revelation about Alex. Wade listened attentively, his tone growing more serious by the minute. "Tatum, we need to get to the bottom of this," he said finally. "Are you ready to confront Willow and figure out what's going on?" I hesitated, unsure if I was ready for that level of confrontation. But with Jamie breathing down my neck and Alex looming large over everything, I knew I had no choice. "Yeah, I'm ready," I said firmly, trying to sound braver than I felt. Willow answered the phone a few minutes later, her voice shrill with anxiety. "Tatum, where have you been? Jamie's been on my case non-stop." I took a deep breath and launched into the story, explaining how I must have accidentally RSVP'd to the wedding online while trying to send a private message to Jamie about Alex. Willow listened in stunned silence, her voice rising with indignation as she processed what she was hearing. "You didn't even tell me you were going out of town," she spat, her tone venomous. I shook my head, feeling a wave of guilt wash over me. "No, Willow, I swear I didn't mean to RSVP yes. I'm so sorry." But it was too late, the damage was done. Willow's voice had turned icy cold, and I knew I'd lost her trust forever. "You're going to be the guest of honor at my wedding," she spat, before slamming down the phone. I felt like I'd been punched in the gut. I slumped against Wade's shoulder, feeling tears prick at the corners of my eyes. He wrapped a comforting arm around me, pulling me into a hug. "It's okay, Tatum. We'll figure this out." But I knew we were running out of time. I needed to talk to Jamie and try to fix this mess, but now that Willow had made it clear she was furious with me, I wasn't sure where to start. Wade pulled out his phone and started dialing a number. "I know someone who owes you an explanation," he said, handing me the phone. It was Jamie. As soon as Jamie answered, I could tell she was on edge. Her voice was tight with anxiety, and I knew we were in for a long conversation. "Tatum, what did Willow just say to you?" Jamie asked, her tone wary. I took a deep breath and launched into the story again, hoping that this time we'd get some clarity. But as soon as I finished, Jamie's voice dropped to a whisper. "It gets worse," she said, before pausing and taking a deep breath. "Alex is not who you think he is." My eyes widened in shock, and Wade's grip on my arm tightened. What was going on? And why did it have to be like this? We were already dealing with the fallout from Willow's wedding invitation, now we had more drama coming our way. I felt like I was trapped in some kind of never-ending nightmare. But before Jamie could say anything else, her phone rang again. This time it was an unknown number, and she looked at me warily before answering. "Hello?" she said, her voice cautious. For a moment, we all just waited, holding our collective breaths as the silence stretched out between us like a thick fog. And then Jamie's face went white, her eyes wide with shock. As I watched my friend's face contort in horror, I felt my heart sink even further into my stomach. "What is it?" Wade whispered, his voice barely audible. Jamie took another deep breath before answering the phone again. This time, she spoke in a hushed tone, her words indistinguishable from the caller on the other end. But as she listened, her expression only grew more frantic. I could sense the panic rising up inside her, like a storm brewing on the horizon. Suddenly, Jamie slammed the phone down, her eyes locking onto mine with an unspoken plea for help. It was then that I saw it, a text message on my phone, from an unknown number: "You're coming to Alex's wedding." I felt like I'd been punched in the gut. How did this even happen? And why was someone sending me messages about some guy I barely knew? But before I could process any of this, Jamie spoke up, her voice shaking. "Alex is my fiancé," she said, the words spilling out of her mouth like a confession. "I never meant to hurt you, Tatum. I just got lost in the moment." Wade and I exchanged stunned glances, our minds reeling with questions and doubts. How could Jamie not tell us about this? Why did she assume we wouldn't care? And what exactly was going on between her and Alex? As we stood there, trying to wrap our heads around this new information, the doorbell rang. It was Willow, looking radiant in her wedding finery. "Hey guys, I'm so glad you could make it," she exclaimed, oblivious to the tension between us. Jamie took a deep breath and stepped forward, her eyes locked onto Willow's. For a moment, we just stared at each other, the air thick with unspoken words. And then, in a move that left me speechless, Jamie turned to Alex, who was standing behind Willow, his expression unreadable, and said something that would change everything. "I'm sorry," she whispered, her voice barely audible over the sound of our own stunned breathing. "I never meant to hurt any of you." As I watched this unfold, a sense of understanding washed over me. Maybe Jamie wasn't trying to be cruel, maybe she was just scared and lost in the moment. And maybe, just maybe, we could find it in ourselves to forgive her. And honestly, I still think about what happened that day, wondering if I would have reacted differently, or if there was a way for us to move forward without hurt or anger. What do you think?